Sandra, $5 for a gallon of gas, or more than that, can make you do desperate things. Apparently, even meet with a brutal dictator who you once vowed to make a pariah. The White House announcing President Biden will visit Saudi Arabia next month, where he'll meet with Mohammed bin Salman, along with other world leaders. The move, a sharp reversal from Biden's attitude toward the kingdom on the campaign trail. For more on that, let's bring in Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton. So critics are saying Biden is giving up the principles that he articulated in the 2020 campaign, tin cup in hand, going begging for oil. What do you think?
Well, John, first off, he should not have called Saudi Arabia a pariah state to begin with in the campaign. We've had differences with the kingdom over the decades, but they've been an important partner of the United States in the Middle East and to promote energy security across the country. But even more importantly, he should have never gotten America in the position where we had to go to any nation for energy security, whether it's Saudi Arabia or Norway or even, for goodness sakes, Venezuela, where he's also gone hat in hand begging. We have it in our power here to secure our energy future, but the Biden administration and the Green New Deal Democrats have been strangling American energy for the last year and a half.
Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, was asked about this, and she said, oh, no, this isn't about oil. Listen here.
To view engagement with Saudi Arabia on energy security as asking for oil is simply wrong, and a misunderstanding of both the complexity of that issue and our multifaceted discussions with the Saudis.
As Peter Doocy was pointing out earlier, I got the press release here. They're saying, well, this is about the UN-mediated truce in Yemen. It's about expanding regional economic and security cooperation, infrastructure, climate initiatives, human rights, ensuring global energy. It's like 5 down. But why do you go to Saudi Arabia if you're not looking for oil?
Yeah, and they act as if there's something wrong with that, whether it's Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates or Canada or Norway or any other country that's a partner or ally of the United States that produces oil, which brings down the price of oil globally if we have more. This is devastating families' budgets in Arkansas, where they're paying almost $5 a gallon for gas. Out west, some states are approaching $10 a gallon. You have families that are having trouble making ends meet because the price of gas is so high. The world supply of oil is pretty essential to America's security and prosperity. They've tied themselves in knots, though, because President Biden had to flip-flop on what he foolishly said on the campaign trail.
I'm also wondering, though, if the White House is playing this down, because every time they go to Venezuela or they talk to Iran or they talk about Saudi Arabia pumping more oil, critics come forward and say, why don't you just improve the climate for oil production in the United States?
That's probably part of it. Again, we shouldn't be in a position where we have to go to any country for our energy security. We are one of the world's largest exporters of energies, and we have the capacity to do even more of that. But the Biden campaign said, Joe Biden himself said, that they want to end production of fossil fuels in this country. That is a pipe dream. That is a recipe for families that are poor and businesses that are going out of business. And as you say, if they're talking to Saudi Arabia, much less to Venezuela or Iran about oil, all they're doing is highlighting their war on American energy.
A couple of other things I need to get to. Secretary of State Blinken has authorized U.S. embassies the world over to fly the BLM flag in honor of Juneteenth, which is coming up in a few days, despite BLM being roundly discredited for its financial problems. The fact that it now, in some surveys, approval for BLM is down to 31%. This all a product of Ambassador Gina Abercrombie Winstanley, who is the first Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer for the State Department. Your thoughts?
Well, I don't know why anyone wants to fly the BLM flag. As you say, they're run by frauds and embezzlers. It's a Marxist organization that wants to abolish the nuclear family and is deeply anti-Israel. But more to the point as well, our embassy should fly the American flag. We don't send our people abroad to represent their race or their sex or their affinity group. We send them to represent America, and the stars and stripes stands for America.
All right. Last topic, and I don't mean to ambush you with this, but I'm going to. Last hour, Politico reported, quote, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton huddled with 24 of his top donors Tuesday morning at the Hay Adams to describe his planning for a potential 2024 White House campaign, telling them a comeback bid by former President Donald Trump wouldn't deter him from running. Expand on that.
Well, we have an annual event where we have lots of folks come in from across Arkansas and across the country who have been friends and supporters of mine for many years. It was great to see so many friends. We had a lot of good conversation about what we're going to do to help Republicans win the Senate and the House later this year, and then what the future holds.
All right, and you'll make that decision after the midterms?
We've got one election in front of us. It's pretty important that we win back the Congress. So I'll take that election first, and then we'll see what happens after the midterms.
Well, I covered your 2014 race. It was a lot of fun. So maybe we'll be covering your presidential race in 2024. Senator, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate it. Sandra?